NBC2 News at 11.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 11 o'clock here on NBC. I'm Elise Chingari. Big developments when it comes to Tropical Storm Milton. We have our team of meteorologists working hard here around the clock for you. Meteorologist Rob Duns and Lauren Hope. The biggest question right now, how is this going to affect us here in Southwest Florida?
I think it's very fair to say that the risk of a wind or surge event is higher now than it was 24 hours ago based on how Milton has rapidly evolved. And we have new information from just a few moments ago, Lauren. So what is the latest with the 11 p.m. advisory?
Yeah, just getting in that Tropical Storm Milton has strengthened a little bit, and we've also seen that pick up in forward speed just a little bit more as well. Now sustained winds at 45 miles per hour. It's moving to the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour, still in the western Gulf as it developed earlier today, and it is expected to still become a major hurricane, mainly because of low wind shear and environment with very warm sea surface temperatures over the Gulf. So this is something we need to be paying very close attention to in the next couple of days. Watch the latest forecast cone and see how fast Milton intensifies. Rapid intensification likely. Category 1 strength by Monday, and then even Monday night, Category 2. Here we go, Category 3 heading into Tuesday, expecting to make landfall as a major hurricane along Florida's Gulf Coast on the peninsula by Wednesday morning, and then pushing back off over toward the western Atlantic. There's still a huge spread across the different spaghetti plots here, and that's why you see how large that forecast cone really is. A good consensus over the next 24 hours, but that really broadens heading into the long range here. You can see all the way up through the Big Bend, down through right here in Southwest Florida. So we are seeing an increasing threat for storm surge, a very impactful event, and an increasing threat for winds as well as heavy rain. Coming up, we're going to go impact by impact and show you everything we know right now. But with more analysis on the forecast cone, I'm going to send it over to you, Rob.
One of the ways the National Hurricane Center draws these forecast cones is by comparing and contrasting the different forecast models that Lauren just showed you a moment ago. Remember, though, what the forecast cone is trying to communicate to you. What the National Hurricane Center is saying is that right now, the forecast calls for the center of a Category 2 or 3 hurricane to be anywhere within this shaded-in area as we move to the forecast early on Wednesday. That means it could be as far north as the Big Bend region of Florida, or as far to the south as right over top of us, or in points just to the south of our region. It's important to know that the impacts will vary based on what track inside this forecast cone the hurricane eventually takes. If it decides to take the southern part of this track, we will have a much bigger wind and storm surge threat in our local community, and would likely see the brunt of Category 2 or Category 3 force winds in our area on Wednesday. On the other hand, if the hurricane favors more of a central or northern track within the forecast cone, the storm surge threat would remain, but we would have less of a direct hurricane force wind threat in our areas. Those impacts would be centered more toward the north of us. So when I come back in just a few minutes, we'll take a look at a forecast model comparison specifically to the wind threat in our area and how the forecast models are looking this evening. Elise?
Robin, Lauren, thank you. We also know Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency here in our state of Florida ahead of this possible severe weather. So far, 35 counties are affected statewide. This includes Lee, Hendry, DeSoto, and Collier counties. As we know, this comes after Hurricane Helene made quite the impact. We know neighbors in Charlotte County are still recovering, and now they find themselves preparing for another storm. NBC2's Mohammed Abdul Qawi is local in Punta Gorda. Mohammed, I know that you've been speaking with neighbors throughout the day. You're there along a street where there is still debris. People have their mattresses, and they're still trying to clean up from Hurricane Helene.
That's exactly right, Elise. We were here throughout the whole entire day, and we've seen residents still out here cleaning up the debris left behind from Hurricane or Tropical Storm Debbie, actually, or Helene, actually. If you take a look behind me, you can see the amount of debris right here. There's a mattress over here. There's chairs. There's everything you could possibly imagine is here. Now families are trying to make sure they can do whatever they can to make sure that they're safe.
I don't know if I could take it again.
Mary Smith and her family are still cleaning up the damage left behind from Hurricane Helene in Punta Gorda. And hearing about Tropical Storm Milton makes them worried they could lose even more.
We have everything put up and out of the water. We hope that it don't get in, you know, But if it does, it does.
A few houses down on Ash Street, A.K. Miller lost several artifacts well over 100 years old. And again, he is preparing for the worst.
We have a lot of stuff we're going to be putting under tarps. We have a remediation team working on the house. The house has never flooded in our 60 years of owning this.
As people make their way to the gas station to fill up multiple gas cans just in case there is a need to evacuate the area.
I usually got 20 or 30 gallons in my shed. I'm always prepared for because you never know.
Saturday evening, Charlotte County opened up 3 sandbag stations around the area. Todd Marino is taking full advantage.
We want to be safe and prepared this time with the sandbags because, like I said, we never knew that the surge was going to be so high, and it could be high again.
Because it's always better to be safe than sorry.
We just got to plan for what we can handle and take care of.
Officials are urging residents to get what you can before Milton hits this area. For now, reporting live and local here tonight in Punta Gorda, Mohammed Abdul-Kawi, NBC2.
Mohammed, thank you. So the town of Fort Myers Beach plans to have a special town council meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. This is to declare a local state of emergency for Tropical Storm Milton. Right now, you are getting a live look there on Fort Myers Beach. We are told that that meeting will be held there at Fort Myers Beach tomorrow at Council Chambers on Oak Street. Of course, count on us here at NBC2 to keep you updated. Also, the city of Sanibel is urging residents and businesses to prepare ahead of Milton, saying residents and business owners who are in low-lying areas of Sanibel or who may just not feel comfortable in their own structures during a storm, well, you should consider finding alternative accommodations ahead of the storm's arrival. Captiva Island urging homeowners and businesses to also be prepared for the effects from Tropical Storm Milton. The island says everyone on Captiva should evacuate if orders are given. Right now, there are no orders to leave yet. They could come if the storm strengthens, as we know, into a hurricane. Charlotte County is pointing out for you to make sure that you understand the open drainage systems there, meaning those ditches in front of many of your homes and businesses. Well, it holds a lot of water after it rains like it did after Hurricane Helene. So you want to be aware of the potential flooding that you can see and continue to see in Charlotte County. Also, Charlotte County has 3 sandbag sites that we want to get to so you know where you can go. You want to make sure that you bring a shovel with you as they are self-service locations. So let's get to these locations. One is at the Ann and Chuck Dever Regional Park of San Casa Drive. Also, Friends Rose Park, and they have sand available near the football field in Port Charlotte and Carmelita Park. We're told that they will have sand near the football field there in Punta Gorda. North Collier Fire Rescue District also has sand and sandbags out to give you tomorrow. They can be found in multiple locations at Big Corkscrew Island, another in the Sun and Fun parking lot, and at the Donna Fiala Eagle Lake Community Park. Now, there is a limit of 10 bags per person. An update on the San Carlos Park sandbags. Fire Station 42 off Oracle Road is currently out of sand. The district says they will give an update on their social media tomorrow when they get more. Of course, we'll stay on top of that as well. Now, when you are getting sand, it's important to know what you are doing so that water does not get through. So when you are filling those sandbags, read here, it's important to fill the bag half or 2/3 full, then tie the bag at the top so the bag will lay flat when you put the bag in place. A bag filled correctly should weigh between 35 to 40 pounds. Overfilled bags and those tied too low leave gaps in the bag, allowing water to get in. Right now, we're also following along with all the school districts. We know that the school district of Lee County is closely monitoring a tropical storm Milton. Right now, at this time, the district says there are no planned closures for Lee County schools. The district says they are working with Lee County Emergency Management Operations Center, and they say that they will share more information tomorrow. Again, we here at NBC2 will continue to keep you updated on the potential of seeing any closures here in Southwest Florida. Now, from preparation to cleanup to recovery and now preparing all over again. Hurricane Helene brought lots of flooding, as we know, and hurricane season isn't over yet. Experts say it's important to prepare and that you should look at your home now and see what items that you need to help protect it. So again, a good time to prepare is right now. You should get the basics, like a generator to keep the lights on and your food stored. You should put dams at your doors to keep the water from coming in and get pumps to get the water back out.
You've got some people who are looking for supplies to take care of their home after Hurricane Helene, and they're coming in and shopping for things to clean up and squeegees and buckets and chainsaws, while there's other people coming in looking for supplies for a potential future hurricane. They're looking for water and generators and batteries. This is going to cause stores likely to be busier than usual as people are preparing for a new storm as well as still cleaning up from the last one.
Again, you want to be prepared and always be one step ahead of the storm. Lauren?
Tropical storm Milton is expected to become a major hurricane in the Gulf. We'll show you the biggest impacts we need to be ready for in Southwest Florida.
The NBC2 First Alert Storm Team, making your plans weatherproof. This team is tracking, updating, and alerting you first. From sudden showers to dangerous storms, your plans are weatherproof. If you live in the Cape, the Country Club, or on the coast, your plans are weatherproof. Whether you plan ahead, make last-minute plans, or don't plan at all, you got it, weatherproof. So if you're planning a big day or a night out, make your plans weatherproof with the NBC2 First Alert Storm Team. Closed captioning on NBC2, sponsored by Inspired Closets.
Hi, I'm Nate Bargatze, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest Coldplay, and live from New York.
Oh, nope, sorry, you don't do that right now.
But we're on the stage.
Yeah, but there's nobody here, and it's Thursday.
A lot of rules in this place.
I'm here, and pure wonders reached with a cleaner fuel. I'm in the bright lights of the show, and in the shimmering sea, MSC Cruises for a greater beauty.
Right now at the Rooms to Go Fall Mattress Sale, save big thanks to this very special mattress offer. Get a king-size mattress for the price of a queen mattress, starting at just $7.97. Choose from 3 great brands: Kingsdown, Beauty Rest Harmony, and Serta Perfect Sleeper. That's a king mattress for the price of a queen, starting at $7.97. Plus, check out our other great mattress buys throughout the store. Now at the Rooms to Go Fall Mattress Sale. Don't miss it.
The NBC2 View Network, sponsored by Bruce L. Shiner.
Lee County government is also going to give an update tomorrow at noon, but today the county wants to remind you just how important it is to clean out any swales. So as we do know, during heavy rain events, it can take more time for them to drain. The county is asking you to report any blocked swales by putting in a request through their action hotline. You can do that at legov.com.
Coming up in just a few minutes, I'm breaking down the rainfall projections and the flooding potential. Meteorologist Rob Dunn's analyzing the wind and storm surge threat. That's coming up.
I spend the day in my steel-toe boots. I come home, put on my flip-flops.
These thermostats don't work the same way ours do.
There's a button that you can switch that says cool, hot, auto.
People want some level of control. That's why I look at the FPL website.
You can see this is the little thing that might be going on in your house that you actually do have control over.
Did you know that if you use cold water during the summer, it lowers your bill?
Find more ways to save energy and money at fpl.com/ways to save. FPL, working for you every single day.
You can go with this, or you can go with that. Bonita Springs or Naples, and Mercedes-Benz. Glide in an EQE or cruise a GLE. Our dealerships are one. Whether you choose Mercedes-Benz of Naples or Mercedes-Benz of Bonita Springs, you'll receive the same great service, the same friendly faces, and the absolute best vehicles in the world. Choice is yours. Come on down today.
No matter how you've been hurt, in a car accident, on the job, or from a medical mistake, it doesn't matter. Life goes on. How that life goes on is where we come in. Farah and Farah.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Obviously, a lot of people are concerned right now. We know that new advisory came out at 11 o'clock tonight. What is the biggest thing that we should know right now?
Well, I would say that we are seeing that increasing threat for storm surge and wind with what, Rob, you're going to be touching on in a moment. But one important thing that came out is the National Hurricane Center also letting us know that they will be issuing hurricane and storm surge watches for parts of Florida tomorrow. So we're going to be watching closely for that. I do expect those to also be within Southwest Florida. Tropical storm Milton, now with winds sustained at 45 miles per hour. It has picked up in that forward speed just a bit. Now to the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Three things you need to know. We are looking at a significant storm surge event. It is too early for those specific values, those likely coming on Monday. We are also looking at that wind threat increasing. At this point, tropical storm force winds a near guarantee. The potential for hurricane force winds even in Southwest Florida. Heavy rainfall and flooding at, as of now, 4 to 7 inches in total. Here's the latest forecast cone from the 11 p.m. expected to become a Category 1 by Monday morning, by Monday night. A Category 2 storm, major hurricane by Tuesday. And then this slams into the Florida Gulf Coast. You can see how large that forecast cone is. That will get smaller in the coming days, heading into Wednesday morning and then pushing over the western Atlantic. So we are still seeing a lot of variability across different forecast models. We do expect this to rapidly intensify over the warm Gulf waters. You can see this is already on Tuesday. We're seeing the impacts beginning, not just on Wednesday when we expect that landfall somewhere along Florida's Gulf Coast here. We're going to continue to compare different forecast models here, but what you need to know is, like we always say, you don't have to see landfall in your community to see those impacts. Those impacts are going to extend well outside of even the center of Milton. So starting tomorrow, we're still looking at a lot of tropical moisture working on into Southwest Florida, a washout by noon, and we're seeing off and on again heavy rain heading into tomorrow night. Now, not necessarily seeing the wind threat kicking up, though, until we get into closer to Tuesday. On Monday, still very unsettled, off and on again, tropical moisture filtering on by, and then even into Tuesday morning, starting to see some more steady, heavy rain. That is going to be bringing us anywhere from about 4 to 7 inches across, especially coastal communities here. That is a big deal. That is over double our monthly rainfall average for October. And so that is why all of Southwest Florida is under a flood watch. Heavy rain is going to be a big threat, as is the storm surge concerned, as is the wind. So what you need to be doing, if you don't have a hurricane kit, make sure you brush up on that. Get everything you would need. Consider that there is going to be a possible threat for power outages. That's not off the table for Southwest Florida. Prepare your property, of course. Know if your area is in a spot that floods frequently. Just continue to analyze what your home might need leading up to impacts from Milton. Download the NBC2 News app as well, so those alerts can come straight to your phone. Now, we're going to be consistently updating you on air and online. With more analysis on the wind and storm surge threat, I'm going to send it over to you, Rob.
The two biggest impacts I'm most concerned about, and I believe you'd be most concerned about, will be what is the risk of storm surge in our community and what is the risk of impactful wind in our community. These two impacts, of course, are very closely related because it depends on where the storm is going to move as to where the storm surge threat is greatest and where the risk of substantial wind damage is greatest as well. So what we'll do together is we'll do some forecast model comparisons together. This first forecast model shows you what the European forecast is currently calling for as we move throughout the day on Monday and Tuesday. Notice that this does ramp this up into a stronger wind event just off the Southwest Florida coast as we move through Tuesday afternoon. From Tuesday afternoon through early Wednesday, that is when the European forecast model puts the center of this hurricane very, very close to our community. I want to stress how it is still very much a possibility for this eventual hurricane to make a landfall in our area when you look at the forecast guidance. So this is what things may very well look like as we move toward the first half of Wednesday by lunchtime. Now compare the exact same period of time with the American forecast model. And remember, when we do this, we're looking for consistency in both the timing, the placement, and the intensity. And between these two global forecast models right now, there is a fairly high amount of consistency, at least in terms of the timing and the placement. But I do want to stress that the American forecast model currently shows the center of the hurricane staying even farther away from our area. We still have to be concerned about the possibility of substantial wind damage from this hurricane if it was to move toward us directly. But it is really important to remember, and very important to stress, is that if the hurricane hits north of us, like if it goes to Tampa, we would still have a storm surge threat in our community. Why? Well, remember how air spins around a hurricane. So if we were to take a step back here and go right back to the American forecast model, this again is what this forecast model is suggesting the winds may look like by noontime on Wednesday. Because we would be out and ahead of the hurricane, look at how the winds would be behaving. We would have a prolonged period of onshore winds starting early on Wednesday and then persisting through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. That would be the time when the storm surge threat would be at its highest, from Wednesday morning through Wednesday night, because of the placement of onshore winds in our community, pending the storm makes a landfall to the north of us. So what should you be listening for specifically tomorrow? As Lauren mentioned just a moment ago, it is expected that tropical storm, hurricane, or storm surge watches will be issued in Florida as early as tomorrow. And it is at that point when we should get clarity on what the storm surge forecast values will be. I will say right now, though, that even if the hurricane stays to the north of us, the risk of a storm surge event is present in our area. So if you live in a vulnerable area near the water, start thinking now about where you're going to be on Wednesday. You don't want to be on the beach. You don't want to be up against a river. You don't want to be up against a big body of water on Wednesday, because we do have the risk of storm surge given how this hurricane is playing out. More news and complete team coverage analysis on what to expect from eventually Hurricane Milton, coming up right after these messages.
NBC 2 News First Alert Live Doppler Radar, sponsored by StormSmart.
We are so excited to announce that the Floormeisters are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. As a family-owned and operated business, we'd like to thank our customers who have supported us throughout the years. We couldn't have done it without you. We have been blessed with an incredible team that is happy to make your experience here feel like you are part of the family.
Real people. Real prices.
Real quality selection.
The Floormeisters. Just keep it real.
What's the score of the game?
The new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. There's joy in every journey. Get 1.99% APR for 60 months or up to $500 bonus on the Hyundai Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
2022. Michigan voters approve a sweeping abortion amendment. Now, the lawyers who wrote that amendment use it to sue their state, to force taxpayers to fund abortions. The same lawyers wrote Amendment 4. And if it passes, the same thing will happen in Florida. Lawsuits to force taxpayers to fund abortions. It happened in Michigan. It will happen in Florida. Prevent taxpayer-funded abortions. Vote no on Amendment 4.
The NBC2 First Alert Storm Team. Tracking, updating, and alerting you first. Making your plans weatherproof.
As Milton starts to make its way to Florida, the city of Punta Gorda is sending out a notice for the potential fire risk of lithium batteries. We've seen just the combination of storm surge and lithium batteries and how it can be a disaster. We're talking about electric cars, bikes, scooters, and even golf carts. The city says you should not keep electric vehicles, e-bikes, e-lawnmowers, or scooters inside your home or your garage. You will need to make sure you take the vehicle or the device more than 50 feet away from your home and wait several days before you go to charge it. You were just looking at video of how a house was caught on fire by that electric vehicle in the garage, so you want to be careful.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at the timeline of our biggest impacts in Southwest Florida as Tropical Storm Milton inches closer to Florida's Gulf Coast.
Wherever fun takes you, it always starts at the same place. Academy Sports and Outdoors, where you can find the best sports, outdoors, and apparel brands. All at the right price. Because we're all about the one thing you can't find anywhere else. The fun you'll have out there. Academy Sports and Outdoors, coming soon to Fort Myers.
The badge. It's more than a symbol. It's a promise. To stand watch when others sleep and face danger when others flee. Sheriff Carmine Marcino kept that promise. Safeguarding our streets, protecting the innocent, rescuing abused animals, and giving his best when nature gave us its worst. That is his promise. This is his badge. Carmine Marcino, our sheriff.
At Citi, we know some days are scarier than others. For a limited time, treat yourself to free premium delivery and let us do all the assembly, lifting, and cleanup. Citi Furniture, designed for love.
Florida needs a power company that's storm ready. That's why FPL works year-round to keep the power on and restore it safely and as quickly as possible when needed. FPL, working for you every single day.
A lot of developments today, a lot of moving parts and pieces in this forecast, but a broad idea on the timeline shows periods of heavy rain, a possibility as early as tomorrow with the Doppler 2 source for the control room. From Sunday through Tuesday, we would have the opportunity of times of heavy rain. The wind risk begins to increase on Tuesday, and then the storm surge risk increases on Wednesday as we watch what Milton tries to do as it moves toward the west coast.
At Lee Health, keeping our community healthy means everything. That's why we created the Lee Health Cancer Institute, bringing together the top minds in cancer treatment, life-changing technology, personalized treatment options, and the best supportive care.
Get your home ready for the holidays at Bear's Holiday Home Sale. Shop store-wide savings of 40% or more. Plus, get 18 months no-interest financing on all the brands you love. Gather the family round this classic dining table, just $9.98. Watch the season's biggest games on this genuine leather sofa, only $19.98. And get free delivery on your entire order when you get scientifically matched for a new mattress. Plus, savings on all of our luxury mattresses. Discover style. Discover savings. There's no place like Bear's.
Sorry, honey, it's a work thing. Mine's also a work thing. I just need someone to cover my shift.
So is mine. Alan says your business vehicle is now covered with Progressive.
Protected 24/7, just like your home and auto.
Oh, that's great.
So dinner time's just phone time now?
Sorry. You know, I heard that ground turkey is the healthiest poultry.
You know what? Never mind. Just be on your phones.
Thank you.
Amendment 3 could legalize recreational marijuana.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm getting ready to grow my weed. Amendment 3 is on the ballot, and oh my God, who are you?
I'm Big Weed. Actually, we wrote Amendment 3, so we're the only ones that can grow it.
So I can't grow...
Not even one plant.
So Amendment 3 is not about freedom. I vote no.
Big Weed, baby. We control everything.
It sounds different here. It looks different, too. But that's no surprise. Because life's different at Babcock Ranch. And you'll feel it when you live it.
If Hurricane Helene has left you struggling with water-damaged appliances, Good Deals is here to help you recover as fast as possible. Our warehouses are fully stocked, and we're getting truckloads of new deliveries every day. What's more, owners Jay and Sandy Russo are offering special pricing to those affected, which means right now, Good Deals' guaranteed lowest prices are even lower. In most cases, we can deliver next day, and as always, free delivery and free haul away of your old appliances. For more, visit GoodDealsAppliances.com.
At the Lee Health Cancer Institute, our network of top cancer specialists work together, focusing on you. Here, you are at the heart of every decision, every breakthrough, every triumph. The Lee Health Cancer Institute, redefining cancer care for Southwest Florida.
Count on Kelly Burns. Weeknights on NBC2.
Doug, honey, where are you? The debate's about to start.
Right here, Mama. Hi, Doug. Oh, looks like I got to notify the Secret Service because we